Hey you guys! If you guys didn't know, on August 7th I got my wisdom teeth out and I got all 4 of them out at the same exact time. So I wanted to just make a video of my expectations versus reality of getting my wisdom teeth out, and this might help you guys out if you're getting your wisdom teeth out. Just it's different for everybody, but this is just my experience and some tips, any advice or stuff I can say in this video for you guys. And if you did, leave a comment down below and tell me about your experience of getting your wisdom teeth out, if there are common things, if I said something completely wrong. So I'm just gonna get started. Sorry if I look down a lot, I'm looking at my phone. Basically, before I even got my wisdom teeth out, I knew that I needed them out because I went 2 years ago and I got x-rays and they told me I need them out. They impact in my gums and they were actually growing this way, so they were pushing all my bottom teeth closer together. So now, I don't know if you can see on the bottom, crooked and overlapping each other. So braces kinda didn't work out and sometimes my gums would get infected. It would hurt to brush my teeth, so I knew it was already needing to happen. I just needed the money and I needed the time to get them out. Here's itchy. So these were just a couple of my expectations. So first I thought I was gonna be in so much pain. I have a low tolerance of pain. Also, as a YouTuber, I've watched a lot of wisdom teeth after videos of kids in their car, in the waiting room. I just thought it was gonna be basically like that. I wasn't gonna remember anything. I was gonna be all loopy and I was gonna say some crazy things. Also, I thought I would be sleeping the whole day the first day. On July 22nd, 2014 at 11:15 in the morning, I had my dentist appointment, and this was to actually get my x-rays and for the guy to check over and see if I actually need them out. I went with my dad and we got there at 11, but we didn't get in till like 12:30 because 2 girls, they were getting sick and the dentist needed to be with them, so it kind of backed up a lot of the appointments that he had that day. So finally it was my turn. They did the x-rays, you had to bite down on the thing. Then I went into a room and sat there by myself for a really long time, and they actually had my picture on the computer, so I got to see them while I was waiting, and I actually took a picture with my phone. So when the doctor came in, I met him and he told me that my top teeth were pushed up and then my bottom teeth were growing into the bone and they were growing inward, pushing all my teeth together. So I already knew that, and he told me that there are certain impacts and mine was one of the worst. And then I had a choice that I could either get my CT or my consultation, which is basically a x-ray, but it's more 3D, so the doctor can really make sure what he's going to be doing that day. He can see everything a lot more. So I did that, and then basically the girl gave me all the information about what not to do. I'd set the date, I figured out how much it is, and then I left. Then on August 6th, before my surgery, you have to get your medicine. So when I got to the pharmacy, I had 2 of them. One was orange, and that I took every 4 hours, pain medicine, and I had to take 15 ounces because I had liquid. Then I had a pink medicine, and that was 3 times a day, so I took it in the morning, the middle of the day, and then before I went to bed. That was to keep any infections away. The third one was actually pill form, but it was small like my birth control, so I could take that. I had to do it twice a day, so I did it in the morning and then at night. That was pain medicine also. I think that was only the first day. You have to get any kind of food that you're going to be eating throughout the week or however many days. So the foods that I got were ice cream, vanilla and chocolate. I got Go-Gurts, I got mashed potatoes, soup, those star noodles. I got those for when I wanted to start eating more solid stuff, and then I got lots of tropical smoothies. And also I went to my friend's house and I got some advice. So here's some advice for you guys. When you are drinking something, do not use a straw, because if you're sucking it might take your stitches out, or you might get an air bubble or some, I forget what it's called, but that will hurt a lot. Instead, if you're having a smoothie, use a spoon. Just make it drop into your mouth. Eat lots of soft food. They were called air sockets. So if you feel like you have air sockets, which the doctor told me if you feel it in your ears, like pain in your ears, then call the doctor immediately. Take all your medicine at the right time, which is important to make you feel better. Even if like you don't feel pain, take your pain medicine at the right time, because once the pain comes, it takes a couple hours or minutes to actually start working in your mouth. To get the swollen to go down, I just had ice packets in my freezer. 15 minutes on each side or whichever side hurt the most, and then take a break. And last advice is sleep as much as you can. So on August 6th, before my surgery, I went to Sweet Tomatoes and I went with my sister, and that was my last big meal. Before you go into surgery, you can't eat for 24 hours and you can't drink for 24 hours. I had chicken fingers and french fries, and then I had some cake because it was my sister's birthday the next day. And then on August 7th was my surgery, and my dad picked me up at 8:20 and we got there at 8:40. And my appointment was at 9 o'clock in the morning. When you walk in, you fill out some papers, you like sign that you obeyed all the rules, you haven't eaten in 24 hours, you haven't drank. I had to schedule my last appointment, so when I'm all done surgery, I think it's a week from then, you come back and he checks everything. Then the girl said that you should go to the bathroom before you go into surgery, and I just like prepared myself in the bathroom and wrote all my statuses on Facebook, and I was gonna take a before picture, but I didn't get the time because once I got done going to the bathroom, I went back in the waiting room and the girl called me in. I gave my dad a hug and I left everything with him because they say not to bring anything into the surgery room. Once you're walking back there, I was getting really nervous. I was trying to hold back some tears just because I didn't know what to expect, and I basically just told myself I'm going to be okay. So when they brought me into the room, I saw everything. I saw all the tooth things, I saw all the tools, the light, and the chair that I was going to be sitting on for the next couple hours. It was all surreal, and I just sat in the chair, and right in front of me was this huge picture of these like manatees in water, and the girl asked me questions. So then she put a huge smock over me, and she put a little sticker back of my wrist and in the front, and then one on the back of my right hand, and she put those pulse things it was on my right finger, clip-on things, and then she put that wrap thing around my arm. I don't even know what these are called. Sorry, I'm really bad with these medical things, but where you pump out and it like gets bigger. Kept this thing on my arm, and she attached these two things on my wrist. I don't know which one it was, and it attached to this monitor that was on the left of me, and it's those like things that you see in every doctor's office, and it has like your pulse and it has your heart rate and stuff like that. She said it was going to go off every 5 minutes, so every 5 minutes this thing would blow up and then inflate, monitor my heart rate and stuff so they know what's going to happen when I go under. And what was so nice was she came back into the room and she's like, oh, are you comfortable? Just relax. Here, do you want a blanket? And I was like, oh no, I'm fine, I don't need a blanket. And she left, and then she came back and she's like, here, you're gonna want a blanket, it's gonna get a little cold. I had a blanket and I was really relaxed and just watching the manatees on the wall, listening to the beeping, watching the little heart thing, just trying to calm myself, because every single time my heart rate would go up, the thing would go up, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna think I'm like going crazy in here. I was actually counting how long I was sitting there, and I sat there for 20 minutes. I was like looking at the numbers, and I don't know what this means, but it went down to 50, then around 60, like that was the lowest. My numbers stayed mostly at like 72 to 75, and it went up to 80 at one point. I don't know if that's good or what your heart rate is supposed to stay at, or your pulse, or whatever it was monitoring, but you guys should comment down below and help me. What does that mean? Also, like that clip on my finger, I moved slightly and like the thing fell off the monitor, you know, and like you see like the zigzags, all of a sudden it just went straight and was like beep, like when somebody dies, and I was like, oh my god, they're probably gonna think I'm dead. So I like hurried up and tried to put it back on my finger. So soon the dentist came in and the assistant, they started laying out all the tools on the table, and they put the oxygen thing over my nose. It was like this big thing, and at that time I was like, oh my god, it's happening. And they put 2 wires on my left wrist connecting to those heart sticker things, and one on my right, and it seriously looked like I was gonna get charged. And then next was my IV, and the dentist was like, has anybody ever told you that you had small veins? And I was like, yes, I know. And he put the blue rubber band on my arm right here and told me to make a fist. So I was like, this. And once I saw the needle, I turned away, and before I knew it, it was like a little pinch and it was over with. So he put the medicine in, and they basically didn't even tell me I was gonna be falling asleep, like this is it. They were just on their things and doing whatever they needed to do on me and getting everything set up. I was talking to him, and all of a sudden I just saw the room like spinning, and then I just fell asleep. I don't really remember falling asleep, and it seriously felt like 10 seconds later, and I've heard horror stories like this, and I felt something clamped on my tongue, and I heard drilling, and I started gagging and opening up my eyes, and I saw the assistant put my left arm on the armrest, and then I fell back asleep. I'm guessing I woke up in the middle of the surgery and they had to give me a stronger medicine. Yeah, that's really scary. So soon the surgery was over and I woke up and I was in the same room, in the same chair, but I was just sat up a little bit and I just had the blanket on me. And when I woke up, I don't remember feeling any gauze. I just knew that gauze was in there. And all I remember is just dozing off and then waking up and a girl coming in the room and saying, "It's over, you should start waking up." But I was just so tired. My expectation was I thought they would want me to wake up, but I feel like they just let me sleep, get the medicine out of me and rest. All of a sudden they said, "It's time to wake up, we're gonna go in another room so your dad can come see you." And I don't remember feeling all loopy, all giggly and stuff like that, and I felt a little bit dizzy. I stood up and I just had a little bit trouble walking, but the girl was there to hold my hand. It was just right across the door to a little chair with a curtain, so we had privacy. And basically I just felt like I had control of my body. I knew where I was going. I remember everything. So when I sat in that chair, she told me that she was gonna go get my dad, and I remember seeing her walk off past the curtains, and I remember hearing the waiting room door open and her saying she's all done or something like that, and come around here, she's just this way. I see her coming around the curtain, and then I see my dad follow, and all of a sudden my dad starts crying. And I just remember trying to talk and saying, "Dad, don't cry," but I had gauze in my mouth so I couldn't really talk. And then the dentist came over and he said I did really good, and they changed out my gauze, and I know they talked more than that. I probably fell asleep. All of a sudden they were like, "Oh, you're ready to go home." And I remember getting up out of my chair and walking into the waiting room, but I don't remember walking from the waiting room to the car. I remember getting in the car, that's it. So I don't know what happened. My dad said that I was walking perfectly fine. I looked really good for just getting 4 wisdom teeth out. And when I was getting in the car, I remember seeing my mom pull up because she said she was gonna stop by to see how I was doing, and that's when I started videotaping myself.
Just stop and get the medicine. Just take that medicine right away. Don't make her laugh.
So, really?
What?
Here, let me take one off you.
I'm one. I'm never picture before. I'm saying.
Did you take a picture? You took one before, didn't you?
Oh,
I thought you said you were
Oh,
going. I was
you didn't
going.
take it before?
Oh,
dummy.
Oh.
Okay, here, I'll take it after. It's like, stop.
You're not that much
peeling your
different than
face.
from before, actually, except for the gauze in your mouth.
Oh, and bloody teeth.
I remember going to my house to get the medicine, going back to my dad, was trying to talk, but I couldn't really, and basically I was just super tired. I was ready to go to sleep. My dad was telling me that it took 2 hours to do the surgery, and in the middle of the surgery he went to go get me smoothies. Dentist said that I got a little bit nervous during the surgery, so they had to give me a stronger IV, and that was probably what happened when I woke up. I could not feel, like right here on my chin, and I couldn't feel, like one side of my mouth was more numb than the other, and I couldn't feel my tongue, which felt so weird when I like touched it up against the top of my mouth.
You have a key from Mom's house?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
So we had to go to my mom's house to get the medicine because we wanted to keep it refrigerated because I was staying with my dad that day.
I just got my wisdom teeth out, and if you hear me, I feel fine. I was tired. I will sleep. Yeah, it's really rough. I will sleep. I can't feel my...
And then we got to my dad and I got all settled on my couch. You have to have your head propped up, and I tried to have some spoonfuls of smoothies before I took my medicine just so I had some food in my stomach.
I need time to eat.
My dad got me a strawberry smoothie. I only took like 5 spoonfuls.
I feel like I'm a monster.
It was really hard to open my mouth.
Oh, the spoon went all the way down.
Go ahead to laugh. Take your medicine first, and then you can just kind of lay down and relax with this on your face. So after we take this, we'll put the gauze back in your mouth.
And they already gave me my morning pills, so I had to take the orange and the pink when I got home. I just wrote some tips. Had gauze in all day on both sides unless I was eating or taking medicine. Felt better with gauze in my mouth. And Mason came over after he got done work, and he was my little doctor. He helped me so much. Thank you, Mason, for everything you did for me. And I slept for about 2 hours when I got home. Thought I was gonna sleep a lot more, but I was actually awake that day. I watched TV, me and Mason hung out and stuff like that, and I started getting my tongue healing back around 5 o'clock, and soon after that my chin and the left side of my lip took the longest because this side was the worst out of this one. Once I got my feeling back in my tongue, the saliva came. It was so hard to swallow with gauze in your mouth, and that day I had mashed potatoes for dinner, and I probably only had 2 bites. I just did not have that appetite of eating a lot of food right then and there. One time I woke up and I stood up a little and I got a heat flash, and I felt like I was gonna get sick, but I didn't. So that night I slept here at my mom's house. I didn't really sleep that well. Woke up a couple of times. August 8th, Mason left at 8:30, and he gave me my medicine before he left, and after he left I slept some more, and as you can tell my left side is swollen. I put ice and slept and was on my computer all day. I have all these bruises from when they were trying to keep my mouth open. Felt more tired, and basically the pain medicine that I was taking was making me dizzy so much that every time I stood up I had to like hold on to something because I would get dizzy. For lunch I had cream soup, ate half of it. Ice made my cheeks feel a lot better and made me sleep, took the pain away. Mason was allowed to come back at 1 o'clock when I had to take my medicine again to help me, and then at 3:30 Mason got done work and he brought me a smoothie, and I ate that whole thing. So on August 9th was, well, second day of healing, and nothing has really changed up. I'm getting the hiccups a lot, even if I eat just like a couple bites. Mostly my left side now. My right side is pretty good. I woke up at like probably 3 in the morning and I couldn't fall back asleep. I just rested my eyes until I actually woke up at like 5, went downstairs and took my morning pill so some of the pain can go away, and I took my ice pack to my bed and tried to fall back asleep. Ice packs are basically my best friend right now, but I still have these things on the corner of my mouth. I found some Neosporin. I just would put it on the corner of my mouth to heal it up. Today has been like a lot better day. I'm not as tired. I just took an hour nap. Try to eat some soup today with actually noodles. I don't know if I should be eating things with actual like solid food. And that day I went to Jason's Deli with Mason's family. I had broccoli cheese soup and I had my smoothie and slept really good, so there's hope. August 10th, I didn't wake up in so much pain. Woke up around 9:30 and we went to Claudia and Jacob's house. Brought my orange medicine just in case if I had any hurting, and I don't know what it was. On the right side I felt like this string. I don't know if it was my stitches or food or something like that, which was bothering me all day. I was just trying not to touch with my tongue to see if my stitches were still there. Dissolving stitches, I don't know how that happens. Also, side effects of my pain medicine. I was getting so itchy, so just know there are side effects in medicine. I would just get so itchy, and my legs were itchy and my hands right here. No, you can't see. I was itching so much right here that I scraped my skin and I had a big cut. I would scratch my legs so much that it gets scars, and then I went shaving and all my little cuts and stuff were bleeding. I think I used aloe for that. 4th day of recovering, August 11th, I went to the mall with my sisters and grandma, and that day I actually brushed back here more. I only took 2 things of that pain medicine. The 5th day of healing on August 12th, I'm like in the middle of the night, I just had him feeling a little bit like a pressure on the bottom. So I'm back on the meds because I'm just gonna, I have like a little bit left, like that much left. So I'm just gonna use it all up. I still have sore cheeks, mostly on the bottom. Yeah, I'm just getting kind of tired of this tooth thing. I want it to heal. I didn't know it was gonna take this long, but I guess my teeth were really bad. So I'm just getting so sick and tired of the medicine. Like, it's tasting so gross. I'm having this pastaroni stuff that is like really tiny stars. Except I went with my mom and my sister to get dinner, and we watched the sunset. August 13th, 6th day of healing. You guys know my vlog of me helping my sister move into her dorm. I took my medicine at 8:20 in the morning because we had to be at her school somewhere around that time, so I wanted to take it right when we were leaving. The pain came back at 11 o'clock, and we did not leave there until like somewhere around lunchtime. Basically, from the pain I was cranky, I was moody, I was just lashing out at people. My sister was like, oh, I have some Advil, and I was like, I can't take pills and stuff like that. I was just so cranky. My mom's like, you don't have to yell at her. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not her. I didn't go to bed till like 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom, and my teeth woke me up a lot that night. August 14th, woke up at 10:30 in the morning for the day. And that day was me and Mason's test of our relationship. I tried everything to just distract myself from the pain. And I mean, he did everything he could to help me, and he did help me a lot. I appreciate him so much for what happened that week. We got there, they gave me pill form, so the next day we had to call them back, and I got liquid form. And when I had the pill, it was capsule form. We opened it up, and I was like, oh, I crush up aspirin all the time and take it in like powder form. This is not gonna be any big deal. And I took it, and it tasted like poison. If that's what poison is, that's what I'm gonna think poison is. We like called the doctor, and we're like, okay, she can't take this. Other thing we can do to make her not be in so much pain, and the girl's like, oh, just mix it in with something. Try pudding, I know that for sure. It was just so gross. Just ask Mason. He tasted it. It's like, stop being a baby. I'm like, you try it then. And so we did try it. He's like, yeah, that's poison right there. On the 18th, like, I'm going back to work then. This is like craziest summer. So yeah, now it's September. That was my experience of having my wisdom teeth out. I'm sorry, this is probably gonna be super long. I'll probably have to do a two-part thing, but I hope it's enjoyable, and I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. All right, I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.